Imagine you have a massive, complicated project ahead of you. Instead of opening 50 different research tabs yourself, manually cross-referencing everything, you just press a single button.
Mm.
And
Wow.
instantly, 50 digital workers just appear. They analyze all the necessary data at the same time, connect all the dots, and then they hand you a finished, organized report in 5 minutes flat.
Yeah.
That's the difference we're talking about today. We're really moving from just chatting with an AI to actually managing an autonomous digital workforce.
That's the core shift, and it's all about business leverage, a massive amount of it. Welcome to the deep dive. Our mission today is to give you a clear roadmap for getting that leverage.
Right.
We're going to unpack the technical side of the wide research feature that makes this possible, look at some real-world examples, everything from market research to finding your next client, and define this digital general contractor model that makes it all profitable.
And I think the initial context is crucial here.
Yeah.
Your standard AI, like a typical chatbot, it's linear. It's just a step-by-step conversation.
One thing at a time.
Exactly. These autonomous agents we're focusing on, they're parallel. They're built for action. So we're really focused on how this technology scales your time, not just how fast you can write an email.
Precisely.
Okay, let's unpack this a little. When we talk about an autonomous agent versus, say, a standard tool like ChatGPT or Claude, what is the fundamental distinction there? They're both running on large language models, right?
They are. The defining difference isn't really the intelligence, it's the way they operate, the mechanism. Standard LLMs work linearly. You ask it to summarize one website, you wait, then you ask it to summarize a second
You're
one.
bidding for each step to complete.
Exactly. If you need 100 data points, you're basically waiting 100 times.
Mm-hmm.
But an autonomous agent, especially the ones using these new tool use updates,
Mm-hmm.
like in the Manus AI system we looked at, it's parallel. It doesn't just talk, it acts. It's an LLM that's been given permission to use the browser, to click links, to save files.
So the LM itself now has a toolkit, like
Yeah.
a virtual mouse and keyboard.
That's a perfect way to put it. And this wide research feature, it lets the AI delegate. So instead of running 50 tasks one after another, it just executes them all at the same time.
Like opening up 50 lanes of traffic on a highway instead of just one.
Exactly. That analogy of moving from a conversational assistant to a managerial role really is the key. We're moving beyond just generating text and into managing action.
So if you had to boil it down, what's the #1 reason to choose an agent over a chatbot?
To synthesize huge amounts of complex data instantly.
Okay, so it's about making sense of complexity, not just fetching facts. I get it.
Yeah.
And this is where it gets really interesting for me. How does that parallelism and that speed translate into reports that are actually useful and save you time?
Well, the agent goes beyond just simple retrieval. It synthesizes the information into what are basically decision-ready reports. It's the difference between being handed 20 articles to read and being handed a single Excel sheet that compares all 20 side by side based on the criteria you set.
It saves you the mental energy of comparison.
It saves you all of that mental load.
Yeah. Let's walk through that laptop case study from the sources. I think it illustrates the complexity so well. Because trying to analyze 20 different laptops by hand it's a nightmare of switching between tabs.
It is. And the prompt didn't just ask for the basic stuff like price, RAM, or processor speed.
No, and this was the critical part.
The prompt specifically demanded the agent find one negative review about overheating on a forum like Reddit for each of those 20 laptops.
Whoa.
So that's taking unstructured data from multiple different websites 20 times over and doing it all simultaneously.
And it's that filtering, that action-oriented part that makes it so valuable. It ends up creating this full comparison spreadsheet in about 3 minutes. You don't just get specs. You get filtered, actionable intelligence that a person would take, 3-4 hours to compile?
At least. And the second case study on marketing shows the same power. Instead of guessing about social media trends, the agent was told to research the top 50 coffee influencers on Instagram.
And it looked at their most liked photos from the last month.
Yeah, and it categorized the style of each photo. Was it latte art, cozy reading, coffee shop vibe? And then, based on that real, proven engagement data, it generated 20 specific image ideas for a brand.
It's completely bypassing the human research bottleneck.
Right. It takes the work of a whole social media research team and just collapses it into a few minutes. That's real leverage.
Wow. I mean, imagine scaling that. Not just to 50 influencers, but to 1 billion queries across really complex data sets, all looking for these subtle market signals. The speed it's mind-boggling.
It really is.
I have to admit, I still wrestle with prompt drift myself when I ask a standard LLM for huge amounts of data. The instructions kind of get muddy by the end. But it sounds like these agents handle that complexity by just delegating the subtasks out from the start.
They do. They handle the organization before the results even come back to you.
So beyond just fetching information, what unique value do these agents really provide?
They synthesize disparate data into decision-ready reports.
So they save you the time of actually having to think and compare. Okay, that makes sense. So we understand how the agent can create these valuable reports. Let's pivot to the money-making side. How do we actually use this speed to find clients and generate revenue?
Okay, so the key here is to shift your focus. You want to find people who are already asking for help. We call this the low-hanging fruit strategy. It avoids all the pain of cold outreach.
And we're targeting business owners in those high-value local service industries, right? Like home renovation, plumbing, roofing,
Yeah.
people who are active in public Facebook groups.
Exactly. They're literally raising their hands and telling you their problems. The specificity of the prompt is what makes this work so well. We tell the agent to target public posts in these groups from the last 14 days.
And that 14-day filter is key.
It's critical. It ensures the pain is immediate and fresh. And we're looking for specific phrases like getting more leads, fixing my website, or help with Google Ads.
So the output you get is this clean list of fresh leads. It includes their name, their business, and their exact problem. Something like John Smith, plumber, asking how to get his website to show up on Google. You know their pain point before you even say hello.
You know their exact pain point. You're not guessing.
Why is that 14-day filter so important for the lead quality?
It ensures the leads are fresh and their pain is immediate.
Got it. Fresh problems that need solving right now. Okay, so we found the lead. We know their problem. Now, how do we convert them without sounding like every other salesperson?
This is where we shift from selling to helping. We use what's called the competitor spy method. The whole goal is to use the agent to provide instant, undeniable value for free.
So let's stick with our example, Sarah the roofer. The agent would research her biggest local competitor, say top-tier roofing.
Right. And the research prompt has to be super specific. We'd ask the agent to analyze the competitor's website, figure out what keywords they rank for on Google, look at their Facebook ads, and then compare all of that to Sarah's business to find 3 specific things she's missing.
And the results that come back are things she can actually use. Like, the competitor is ranking for emergency roof repair, and Sarah is not.
Or the competitor's using video testimonials, and Sarah has no video content at all. Or maybe they have a big get a quote button on every page, and Sarah's is buried.
These are tangible gaps a business owner can understand immediately.
Instantly. And the final step is simple. You send a friendly message with a quick, free PDF report detailing those 3 specific, actionable changes. This one move makes you look like an absolute genius and a genuine expert who's there to help.
So what's the ultimate goal of the competitor spy report?
To provide so much value that your outreach looks like help, not a sales pitch.
Okay, it's about leading with value to build trust. I like that.
That's it.
Okay, so what does this all mean for actually doing the work? Because I can hear a listener thinking, that's great, but I don't know how to fix a website or run Google Ads.
And that is the pivot point. That's the key insight that makes this whole thing scalable. You don't have to be the worker. You become the general contractor. A general contractor manages the project. They hire the plumber, the electrician, the painter. They don't do the work themselves. Your job is to manage the communication and connect the client to the right solution.
And there are 2 main ways to do that once you land the client, right? Option A is the easy way, software, using platforms like Go High Level, which have all these pre-made templates for industries like plumbers and roofers.
Exactly. You can charge the client, say, $500 for a professional website setup that takes you maybe an hour using one of those templates. You're providing the solution, but the software is doing the heavy lifting.
And option B is arbitrage, the outsourcing model.
Yeah, so for something more complex, like a Google Ads campaign, you might charge the client $1,000. Then you go on a site like Upwork and hire an expert freelancer for $300 to do the work. You keep the $700 profit.
The agent found the lead, the freelancer does the work, and you just manage the process.
You manage the flow, and you capture the margin.
So stripping it all down, what's the core value proposition of being the general contractor?
Connecting the client to the solution, not executing the technical labor yourself.
It's about project management and quality control, not being the technician.
Oh, okay, I see.
Right.
Now, getting paid once is great, But to build a real business, you need recurring revenue. We have to talk about the service after the sale model.
Absolutely. After that initial setup, that $500 website fix, you offer monthly retainers. And these are services that mostly run on low maintenance automation.
Things like website hosting for, say, $50 a month, or reputation management to get them more 5-star reviews for $100 a month, or maybe content posting for their social media, $200 a month. The math really shows the power here. Just 10 clients paying you an average of $300 a month. That's $3,000 in monthly recurring revenue.
And because the AI tools can handle so much of the automation, the actual time you spend on it is just a few hours a week once you're set up.
The time commitment is incredibly low for the return.
We do have to address the cost, though, for someone just starting out. If an advanced tool that costs, around $30 a month is too much at the beginning, you can use free alternatives.
Oh, absolutely. Tools like Google Gemini or the free version of ChatGPT are plenty powerful to get started. The main trade-off is just going to be efficiency.
It's slower.
It's much slower. You're looking at maybe an hour or two for a report that an agent does in 5 minutes, and you have to do a lot of manual copy pasting instead of getting a clean Excel file.
But you can still get started. You could use a really targeted prompt in Gemini like, list 5 roofing businesses in my city that don't have a website link on their Google Maps profile. That gives you a starting list right there.
It's a totally viable path.
So what's the recommended starter path for the broke entrepreneur?
Use the free tools to land that first client, then use that money to buy the advanced paid tools.
Reinvest the first win to unlock speed and leverage. Simple. Got it. So, what does this all really mean? I think the biggest insight today is just the incredible leverage this technology gives you.
For sure.
2 years ago, this exact business model would have required a whole team. You'd need a researcher, a writer, a designer, a secretary.
And today, the autonomous agent lets you become that one-person army. And there is a massive window of opportunity right now because most people are still just using linear chatbots for basic tasks.
They're still just chatting.
They are. So using agents for this kind of deep parallel research and client finding, it gives you a huge advantage in any local market.
So we've given you the plan. Find the low-hanging fruit, spy on their competitors, send that free report to build trust, and then be the general contractor who connects them to the solution.
That's the playbook. And as a final thought to leave you with, consider this. If we can manage a workforce of 50 digital interns with just one prompt, how quickly will the very definition of work itself be redefined for both the client and for us, the contractor? What human skills will truly matter in a world where so much of the execution is just outsourced entirely to these parallel processes?